Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Train Man, and welcome to the weekly timetable for the week of whatever today is. I believe it's March 2nd, 2014. Frankly, the other day just hit me that it is 2014 when I had to write down my graduation year, and, it was like a slap in the face, You're graduating this year. What are you doing with yourself? Get your crap together. You're gonna be, out in the world in a few months. God, that's like when you realize that and it hits you. Alright, but on to the important stuff. On Monday, we had Super Hostile in Front of Mine's episode 33, Preparations. It was honestly a boring episode, but I tried to cut around some stuff so it was at least a little bit entertaining. There was some talking back and forth, and, I feel like it turned out to be an alright episode despite the tediousness. The tediousness in making the episode. Though we did get a lot done.
Wait! I know. There's one that I can do, but it might look bad.
What are you doing?
Nothing?
Are you putting a minecart?
It's the closest to black.
That's racist. On Tuesday, we had Trim and Plays Chrysaor's Locomotion episode 118, More Iron Ore. This is actually where, the steel setup is starting to fall apart because we don't have all of the resources for making the steel coming in before we sometimes, or well, a lot of the time before we never actually had that problem. But now that the steel mill is in such a weird location, and I didn't want to, build one. Yeah, you get the point. Oh yeah, they have... Oh, wait a minute, the station's too short, isn't it? I'll bet you it is. Hold on. That is well over a tile extra there. And it's... No, okay, wow. I screwed that one up. Did I build that auto parts plant? I don't think I did, because it would have been too expensive. I think it just appeared in a good spot. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, no. I definitely didn't build an auto parts plant. What am I thinking? On Wednesday, this is what you've all been waiting for, seriously. The Daisy Standalone Episode 4, Electro. Or, more aptly named, Shootout in Electro.
So they would have
That
to
wouldn't be
create a
too
whole new
difficult.
map.
No, they wouldn't.
And then
Honestly, no, it wouldn't be that hard. But it'd still be a pain.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine. If they were
Should we start a petition? Hey, everyone in the comments, go bug this guy to finish the railroad track.
if they made it a complete circle, that wouldn't be too hard. I mean, they added a whole section. Why can't they add another whole section?
If you haven't seen the episode and were straying away from it because you thought it was going to be boring like all the other ones, trust me, it's not. I mean, there's a lot of sitting on a screen where it says you are unconscious, but, that was a rush to film. Speaking of which, I need to get back to DayZ and film some more. I don't have anything this week yet. I kind of put it on the back burner because I just haven't had time for it, and I wanted to play with John, and we've been busy. That aside, though, we had the video on Thursday, which actually I have to come around to KSP later. But on Thursday we had KSP episode 36, Station Moving, which, God, that was a terrible idea. This is going to be a long, slow burn. Hold on. Okay, no, that doesn't work. That's bad. Don't do that. It was possibly the worst idea I've had. No, it wasn't the worst idea I've had in Kerbal Space Program, but it was up there. I'm just glad everything survived. On Friday, we had the Zombie Train episode 60, which was a great episode because it was called Trying Not to Spoil, where I kept talking about the Zombie Train Part 2, unofficially dubbed The Pass, in which, well, I just talk about the Zombie Train and try not to spoil anything. I can't say in which and then say anything Alright, so that seems pretty good. It's almost a roller coaster-esque hill right there. A lot of it was a response to a comment regarding, which was a suggestion, which you know, brought me around to the topic of people suggesting things and whether I like them or not, having to say, I can't give you information on this topic, which is always a really awkward thing, because I'm always thinking in my head, you know, whatever the situation may be, I'm thinking, oh, they're seeing right through exactly what I'm saying, they know exactly what I mean, when it's actually completely neutral either way. Because I find myself saying that exactly no matter what I am actually thinking. If I'm thinking, no, I don't like that idea, or that's a great idea, or even, you know, I don't know what the third option would be there, but that's that. Alright, so let's move on. Oh wait, Kerbal Space, I'll come around to that at the end. Let's move on to the video of the week, shall we? We had 5 videos this week. We had as many videos of the week as we had videos this week, period. And it's actually kind of tough to figure out which one is number 1. And I think the one I'm going to pick is kind of old. No, I'm sorry. I know which one I'm going to pick. And Christ, just know what you're doing before you click on that link. Not because it's bad or anything. First one that I need to mention is Pepsi Max and Jeff Gordon present Test Drive 2. If you remember the commercial where Jeff Gordon went to the car dealership and took out a car and went for a crazy drive, and it was a Pepsi Max commercial and something silly like that. That's one of the reasons why this thing did not get my spotlight, because it's, you know, it's viral marketing. It's very entertaining though. I suggest you watch it. Another one that was also very entertaining was Let It Go from Frozen according to Google Translate. My God, was that funny. It's like one of those misheard lyrics things, except you have to remember that it doesn't need to sound anything like the original song, because it's actually just what the translator thinks. It's Let It Go from Frozen piped into another language and then piped back. I'm not sure how many times. I don't remember. But it's very entertaining. It's very funny. In fact, it's kind of a movie I feel like I need to see, because I've just been hearing so many things about it. Obviously, I'm not the target audience for that movie, but I don't know. Maybe I should see it. Another movie I have to see is the Lego Movie, but that's beside the point. Another shout out in the 3rd place spot this week is another video. Is astronaut Charles Duke during an Apollo 16 lunar EVA drops a wrench and can't get it off the ground. He can't bend down far enough in the spacesuit. It's so funny watching this guy like do a split and trying to reach down and grab it, and he can't do it. It's the funniest thing. I kind of want to see the rest of that clip. I wish. I'm not sure if footage. I'm not sure how much of the lunar footage is released, but I'd really like to see like a whole lunar EVA just to get a feel for all the stuff they do out there. Because I know it's not Kerbal Space Program where you walk out, take a soil sample, plant a flag, and get back in and fly away. We have all sorts of instruments to use. Alright, and in the 2nd place spot we have Train versus Tornado, best part. I was about to give this thing I was about to have this one take the cake this week, but it's a little bit dated anyways. I feel like a lot of people will have seen it nonetheless, or at least the longer video. If you haven't though, or even if you have, it's worth watching again just because it's freaking amazing and frankly kind of scary. It's a giant mess is what it is. It's one of those rare things where you get a train wreck captured on camera. But let's move on to the number 1 video this week, and it is a mashup of 3 songs actually, I believe. Avicii and Rick Astley. If you know your favorite troll on the internet, the Rick Roll, they've turned it into a decent song with a mashup called Never Gonna Wake Up. It's actually really good. I'll be honest. It's pretty good. It's pretty. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and do that. Now I don't have a shout out this week. I feel like I did have something to shout out, but I don't remember what it is. Something I could shout out is the Beam, but I don't have it here. I must have left it upstairs. Where did I leave that? Shout out to the dog that's asleep on the couch. Margo. He's tired. But I do want to show you guys something, and you guys will see this as a finished product, and probably in the background from time to time. Also, I gotta point out that Vader's gone. Just Kurgan's back now. But this is the TVZ1 Dawn of Heaven. It's super light. It's balsa wood. It's got about $100 of electronics in it too, and then some. The rear is skinned, but I ran out of tissue paper. It's got all servo motors in there, which will actually do the flaps. We've got these two nice motors on it, which provide a ridiculous amount of thrust. We've got a radio receiver on there in the cockpit, and a speed control. This is essentially a done project. It's not. You see the balloon, which is the green thing behind me over there. It doesn't have enough volume to actually be light enough to get off the ground, which is kind of a shame. But it's a cool looking thing. I'm going to finish skinning it, and it's going to be hung up. What's funny, when you're skinning a Zeppelin, it's the opposite of, for example, skinning something you've killed. You're putting the skin on it instead of... Yeah, it's kind of gross. Okay, so that's it for me this week. Oh wait, Kerbal Space Program. I just went back in, 0.23, and I rebuilt my modded KSP. It works pretty well. As far as I can tell, it works really well. I've got all sorts of things like B9 with the recent 0.23 fixes, not released by the official guy, but released by someone else. Remote Tech Live support, Ferrum Aerospace, Infernal Robotics. What am I missing? Another big one, Interstellar. You know, some very, very cool mods that I have no idea how to use. So, yeah, we'll be bumbling our way through those eventually at some point in Kerbal Space Program. But for now, we still have to go to Eve and Minmus and Dres and Moho and the Moons of Jewel and Elo. And once I'm done with that, then we can move on to the mods. Or I might just give up and go to the mods at some point anyways. Either way, suggestions for Zombie Train, always appreciated. Suggestions in general, always appreciated. Any sort of user interface we can get going, it's great. And I'll see you guys next week. Train Man out.